Welcome back. I'm here with Jack Stewart, a senior at Oak Mountain High School. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jack Stewart. I am a current senior at Oak Mountain High School.
All right. And how's your senior been this year?
How's my senior been?
Your senior year. How's it been?
My senior year has actually been really fun. I only have 3 classes and it's very laid back, but still very active.
What classes have you been?
So currently I have late arrival, then I go to pre-cal with Miss Renilla, AP Go from the shorts, love Miss Shores. Then I have my robotics class with Miss Pollard.
Gotcha. How's your classes this year compared to last year's or sophomore year's?
Yeah, I can explain that. My junior year was, although I took 1 AP and 1 honors. I had Miss Mills, and although it was classified as honors, it was definitely way harder than that. And AP Comp Sci, which was a lot of fun. I learned a lot of new things. But in comparison to this year is definitely way more laid back, but I still have to put a little bit of effort in.
Gotcha. And do you have any plans for college after this?
Yeah, so I have been accepted into Auburn. So I'm most likely going to pursue electrical engineering and get either a minor in nuclear or a minor in computer science.
All right. Well, what made you want to become an engineer?
Yeah, so I've been doing robotics since I've been in intermediate school. And when I got to middle school, I went to Auburn's Engineering Day, which is you go to explore all the buildings, talk to actual engineers. And I was just hooked on it ever since.
Gotcha. And I know you're in your robotics. I know you're in that. Has that also made you want to, become an engineer?
Oh, without a doubt. With robotics, I've been just nonstop working. And although to other people it seems like a lot of work, it's a lot of fun to me because it's just how my brain functions. So being able to do robotics is a lot of fun to me.
By any chance, could you explain to us how competitions work for robotics?
Yeah, so every year for robotics, there's a new game. And then people create robots for that game, and then you'll go to a tournament at some high school. Then if you win that, you'll go to states. Win that, go to worlds. So local comp is just you get paired against 2 random teams with a teammate. You play bracket style after that, and then hopefully you win an award.
Gotcha. And do we have a good team?
Yeah, you could say that. Back-to-back state champs, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right. And so what's the game for this year?
Yeah, so this game is called Vex Over Under. So basically you're pushing triangular balls into low to the ground goals. And then at the end of the game, you can hang off the ground to get extra points.
Okay. And what does your bot look like?
So right now, my robot, the idea of it is we launch tri-balls as quickly as possible. And then we also have a blocker to stop other teams from launching. So the idea of that is we're trying to get other teams to do a blocker now, so we can counteract that later. So the idea is our rebuild will probably be a rising launcher. So the idea is that we'll rise above any blocker and just shoot above them.
All right. So are you allowed, because you said you had a blocker, is that 2 separate robots or is that all on one?
So every match is 2 alliances, or 2 teams, I should say. And then there'll be alliance for a match. So it could be me and, so my number is 643A. I could be randomly paired with 643T, which would be another Oak Mountain team. Go against 2 completely random teams.
Gotcha. And you said that you rebuild your robot?
So usually after competitions, we evaluate how well we did and what we like about the robots that we went to the competition. So for example, we had a competition on October 16th and we won that competition pretty handily because of our blocker. So we decided to keep our robot for now. But after this comp in Auburn on November 11th, we're probably going to rebuild so we can stay ahead of the game and overall just more competitive than the other teams.
Gotcha. And is there different events in there, or is it all that one event?
What do you mean?
Is it just the over under, or are there other events that go into it and scoring?
For us, it's over under, but for example, there's IQ, Vex IQ, so that's with middle school, and that's a completely different game. And there's other robotics competitions like drone flying and best and first. So it's a bunch of different robotics you can do, but I personally like Vex VRC the best.
Are these all under the Vex umbrella?
To some extent. A lot of it is, then some of it's separately organized, but it's all at least registered through the same people.
Gotcha. And are you able to register, let's say, could you do multiple of these at the same time?
So like if I can't do IQ because that's specifically for middle school and elementary, but like say I want to go compete in FRC, it's a more competitive robot, but it's bigger teams, bigger robots, better engineering, yada yada, less restrictions, so you get more of the actual engineering experience. I could compete in both at the exact same time without an issue.
Gotcha. Is there like you said, like restrictions? So are there like rules that come along with building your robot?
So every year, Vex releases a game manual for the game that's played, but usually the general idea is you get 8 motors to use on your robot however you like, and then you have to use specific Vex legal parts. So you can't just like, for example, I have pneumatics, but I can't go buy pneumatics from like anyone. That has to be like Vex legal. If that makes sense.
What are pneumatics?
So pneumatics are air-driven pistons. So basically, you can use them however you like. So they can either retract or extend. So you can use them all throughout a match with an air tank.
Gotcha. Well, that sounds really cool. So do you have like any plans to like continue doing robotics, like when you enter college and all that?
So with college, there's Vex U, which is similar to Vex VRC, like the high school level, but instead you have new restrictions and you get to build your own alliance partner. So you basically build 2 robots that compete together as one alliance.
Gotcha. And did like the rules update that go along with college?
It depends. So like for this game, for high school, there's match loading, right? So you have 22 of these tri-balls to launch in a match, but in Vex U, you still have the 22, but it would be unfair because for a match, for high school, you get 15 seconds of autonomous. Vex U, you get 15, or 45, excuse me. So they could get all that done like that instantly. So they had to change the rules around to where you can't directly place it on your robot.
Gotcha. So they make it like a little bit different to challenge the college engineering.
So it's usually generally the same game, but there might be some like tweaks in the game manual.
Do you think you'll be like more excited to do college robotics than you will here? Like
I feel like to some extent, because a lot of Oak Mountain graduates have come, or that were in robotics, have gone to Auburn and are doing Vex U currently. So I'll get to see like Khaled Zuader, if anyone knows them. But it's also, there's way less restrictions. So like you can 3D print parts and like stuff like that. You don't have to use all of Vex legal parts. So it's just a lot more loosey-goosey, but a lot more fun.
So does that mean that you could basically come up with a new part specifically designed for your robot?
Yeah. So like last year, something that was really cool at Worlds, a team named Pyro, which is a Vex U team, basically got a huge air tank and released all the air at once so they could de-score a goal. And it was basically a fart gun. I'm being completely honest. It was like, because there was like a little basket, a bunch of discs, and they just, at the beginning or the end of the match, they'll just and it launches them all out. They win the match.
Oh wow! Did they like ban that after that? Or
yeah, they added some restrictions. That's what I mean by Vex U is very loose on their rules, because like there's no rule on how big the tanks can be, but you have to use 100 psi. So the tank weighed like 40 pounds.
So, oh wow, that is. So was it just like super back heavy?
No, it was just, they basically made it look like almost a pig, because it's just a really big tank in the middle of the robot, and they just drove it to under the goal, and because it has so much torque, what are they gonna do? Yeah. And just.
So I mean, you seem to know like a ton about the rules. Do you like scour the rule book looking for? Yeah.
Unfortunately.
How long do you like look over it?
It depends. So usually we'll pay attention to the rule book as soon as it's released, and then if there's any new rulings or how people are judging it after tournaments, we'll go back, look at the rule, take a picture of it, so we can use that at the next competition.
So you're like like a mini lawyer?
Unfortunately. I'm not kidding. People made like a textbook of it and brought it to a competition and tabbed it out so they could pull out specific rules if they needed it.
So are there like referees at the?
So there's usually one head ref and usually some scorekeepers, but that's about it.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you for being here. And if you're interested, come follow our channels at Oak MTM Media on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and follow our YouTube at also Oak MTM Media. All right. Thank you.
All right.